You've been doing this for a long, like you started nightclubs, right? Back in the 80's.
Yep. Yeah, did that whole thing. And the clubs for me were great learning. I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned, you're on every night, and then you do two shows on Friday and Saturday. So the club life was just work it, and it was a great place to work through material. It's kind of funny. Some people say, "Oh, I heard you do that last time," and then you go, "Oh, okay," and then you have people go, "Oh, I brought people here. You didn't do that bit. It's my favorite bit, and you didn't do it." And you're like, and then, but it was real competitive. It was a little dark. My favorite club comic I ever worked with, Sinbad. Um,
Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah. And hey, did you hear Sinbad killed in Dallas? No, I didn't hear that. Oh man, did you hear he killed in Orlando? No, I didn't. Did you hear he killed in Chicago? No, I didn't hear that. Hey man, did you hear he bombed in Des Moines? Yeah, I heard that. Right.
I'm comedian Timmy Boyle, and this is the greatest live Instagram comedy experience that nobody knew about. Good to the last drop. Well, here we are again, 7 o'clock on some day. I don't even know what day it is, but I haven't known what day it is for probably close to 25 years. I don't know. I pretty much live my life like how we're in quarantine, unless there's like a show to do or something like that. I pretty much hang in my house. So everyone who's complaining about going, "Oh, this is so hard, social distancing, I'm so bored in my house." Yeah, this is how I live my life. So it would be nice to go do shows, but I got this now. So, and we know this is paying me just as much as shows. So might as well just keep doing this. Thank you, everybody who's coming in here. My name is Timmy Boyle from Upstanding Comedy, and you are watching Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. This is episode 25. That's like a historic episode. We're going to be talking to Steve Geyer tonight. I know he's already in the room right now, and I'll be inviting him into this live in a couple minutes. But I did want to just welcome you all and let you know that every single night, we will be here at on the Real Timmy Boyle on Instagram for Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. We've been calling comedians from all around North America over the last 3.5 weeks. We will take tomorrow off, but other than that, this is where you'll find us. Ultimately, all the episodes that we've had so far will be on YouTube at Timmy's Shorts, and so if you haven't already subscribed and liked to that channel, you're going to want to do that, because we've been talking to comics who are just beginning. We've been talking to comics who wrote for sitcoms and have warm-up acts down in Hollywood. We've had comics take us on travels through their goat farms and trips through Nashville. We've had comics talking to us from their car, from their basements, and we have talked about tickling grizzlies. That even happened. I'm pretty sure that Josh Novi wasn't even in his own house. I think he broke in. So my only goal for these shows is really to have no goal. So we should be able to accomplish that pretty easily tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, let's call our comedian for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, all of you who are coming in. And we are going to invite the one and only Steve Geyer into my living room and then ultimately into yours. Because who knows about the technology? Steve Geyer!
Timmy Boyle, how are you, man? Can you hear me okay?
Oh.
I'm good. I don't need this, right?
Yeah, I am one arm length away, as long as you seem closer than one arm length, so I say you need it.
Okay, that's I was a little afraid. I didn't know how close we were going to be, so I wanted to err on the safe side.
That's okay.
Thank you, Crystal honey.
Sorry, I got a little bit of a bug myself, but
that's okay. How's everything going up there in the Great White North?
Oh man, good. Hey, is it really your birthday? Somebody's saying happy birthday.
Yeah, Wednesday was my birthday.
And oh, so it's not your birthday today?
No, it was Wednesday, and who didn't call me? Uh,
I
yeah.
I didn't call you.
No, you didn't call. And I
I
will say
haven't
I'm okay.
called
I'm
I haven't called anybody in years.
okay. That's true. That is true. We do text all that. We either communicate by text or Twitter. So
Well, okay, one of my many faults is that I don't actually connect with any of my friends.
that's true.
And
Right
so
again.
I
You're
do
right again.
I, I do that so that nobody can be offended. Like if somebody says, I thought we were friends, why didn't you connect with me? And I say, no, flat out, I don't connect with any of them, and therefore nobody can be hurt.
Dude, brilliant. It's brilliant.
That's what
I
I
love
thought.
it.
So man, it's been a long time though since we've seen each other. I want to thank you
Yeah.
for joining us here on the show tonight.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time since we've done a show together too. Probably what, 2 years?
What would have been the last show? A girl? No, I mean,
We did.
couple.
I did. Let's see. I did Upstanding Comedy, your tour. I did
Yeah.
that, and then I thought we did one other thing after that tour, and then I haven't. Gosh, I probably haven't been on stage with you in 2 years at least.
Yeah, no, I can't because when you came up here and did the circuit tour, like we're
Uh,
talking like we're about to celebrate season 10
Holy
if
mackerel!
this COVID thing ends in starting in September.
Yeah.
And then I think you came up like maybe season 4 or 5.
Really? Oh, it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been a
Holy
long time,
God!
my friend.
Oh
It's been a
my
long time.
God!
Yeah.
Well,
See, but no offense, right? No offense.
that's right. It seems like yesterday.
Like that's why my mom actually comes into these shows. She's here tonight, and so just keep it clean. But
Okay. Oh, hi,
she
Mom.
comes because I don't talk to her either. So,
Well, you know what? That's the thing I've always liked about you. You're consistent with everything.
so where are you currently quarantined? What's
I Well, I am currently sitting in my office here. We moved to Alabama back in December 18th, the week of Christmas. Don't ever move.
wow?
Yeah, don't ever do that. Don't move the week of Christmas. It's not a wise choice. But we moved to be closer to the grandbabies. So I came off. My last show was, gosh, I did the couples night out tour in the U.S. and then did the Canadian date, and then I had one more show, like the first of March, and then that was it, man. Everything just went sideways. You know, well, I mean, everything just quit. My
We
last show was March 1st. I was in Edmonton, March 1st.
March
Yeah.
15th, March 14th. March 14th, we were finishing the circuit tour.
Okay.
Stuff was already starting to come down, and people were sending messages like on those final 2 days of like, are you holding the event? Please hold the event. Like people
Yeah.
were back and forth, like, don't
Yeah.
cancel. Like, we
Yeah.
need this. And then the very next day after we got off the road, after a 10-day run, the next day they dropped the attendance levels to 50, which, funny enough, half our tour could have still survived. But then things went haywire after
Yeah.
that, and
Oh yeah.
we've now lost the upcoming tours are off the grate, but they're not canceled; they're postponed.
Right.
I might do 6 tours to celebrate season 10 next year, so
Yeah.
we'll get it in somehow. But this has been an outlet for me. What have you been doing to kind of get your funny bone out and be able to encourage people?
Actually, Kathy and I have been helping take care of our grandbaby. That's part of why we moved here. So my life has been in trying to finish my book coming out September 1st or August 30th, September 1st, something like that. I'm either been trying to write or chasing after a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. So that's about as funny as it gets.
Do you do you miss the stage or do you welcome the break? I've been talking to people and some like I'm actually, I mean I'm only going to be good for a couple more months money wise,
Right.
but
I'm with you. I'm with you. I get you.
but I'm enjoying the creative burst that I'm getting because instead of focusing all the time on trying to book for the next weekend,
No, I get you.
I've just
No,
been able to be more creative and so it's been actually a little bit of a break and I'm sad to say that I'm enjoying it a little bit.
I am too. I've been doing stand up since 1976, and still I'm like, I'll take the break. But yeah, I almost feel bad that I'm enjoying the break. I mean, I had some shows canceled or postponed, and I was like, but then I was like, I'm kind of used to like not getting out of my pajama, like what I wake up wearing, I go to bed wearing, and that's
Yeah.
I've lost
Yeah.
track of days, and then it's like I'm still washing clothes though for some reason. I don't know why. We're not going anywhere, but like we still have laundry to do, and I'm like, what is that all about, And then uh since it doesn't get dirty, this is my either I'm getting old or I'm going crazy. Like, I was trying to put on some shoes, and I had these little slip-on the socks that are like they're probably invisible socks covering so it looks like you're wearing head socks, right? And so since I'm not going anywhere, I just left them in my shoe, right? And so the other day I was trying to put my shoe on and couldn't get it on. I thought, man, I must be gaining weight or something. I can't get my shoes on. Walking around going, man, this is really uncomfortable. And then I take my shoes off and I end up I've got extra socks in my shoes. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Well, I didn't do that just once. I did it again. So I'm like, okay, I'm losing my mind because I'm like, I'm leaving socks in my shoes and putting them back on. So I'm enjoying the break, but I think I need to get up and go pretty soon. Or I'm gonna go.
Well, I'm just full disclosure. I'm not wearing pants. I haven't worn pants for almost a month now because I'm
I
not
don't
going
think I've
anywhere.
ever seen you wear pants except when you're on stage. In the car, you
Yeah,
take them
it's
off. You walk around the hotel. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a show, baby.
pants. For those of you who are watching that have any some sort of biblical knowledge and understanding, the Adam and Eve thing. That's the thing I hate the most is that we had to wear pants after that, and that
You
really
have
drove
to
me
wear
crazy.
pants. Yeah,
Still
yeah,
can't forgive them for that.
yeah. Well, and you actually, part of your whole uh, gig is that you actually end up wearing a tie. So, are you still wearing a tie?
I do. I wear, yeah, I wear a tie, but I
Boy,
don't wear shoes. I don't wear shoes on stage now. I just have my wool socks. But I wear a tie, I'm all done up, and I wear my I
oh
wear
my
my
god.
wear my wool socks. I remember the first time I did
Oh
it,
man, that's
I
hilarious.
had just bought a brand new pair of dress shoes for a show,
Uh-huh.
and I was with Matt Falk, and we were just about to hit the stage, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out with no shoes on. And I took the stage, and I immediately heard like it was actually it was a good sized room, but I heard someone in the front just go, "He's not wearing shoes," and I was like, "Bam, this is good. I'm with this." And I have now been doing it ever since, and so now it's Boyle, the suit, the socks, and the OJ. So I got
That's
we'll see.
so funny. Well, back in the day when back one of the legends, I did a few shows with Chris Mullins, and he would do shows barefoot. Just and then I remember after one time we were walking around, and I was just sitting backstage, and everything's all over. Everybody's like, they're tearing down and everything, and I hear this guy go, "Anybody see my shoes? Anybody see my shoes?" And I look around, it's Rich. You can't find his shoes. And I thought, now either somebody's hidden them from him and they're being cruel, or this man has no idea where to put them. And found out later he had no idea where to put them. Yeah, but that was Rich. So you're in good company, not wearing shoes.
Nice. Hey, so we've been talking to people at all levels of comedy.
Yeah.
Some who've been mentoring up here, just and they're brand new, and others. You've been doing this for a long. Like you started nightclubs, right?
Yep. Yeah. Did that whole thing, and then started doing. Became a Christian, and started doing more Christian venues and stuff, and that's a little different. But,
What was what was nightclub comedy like? You don't see as much of that anymore, or at least it's certainly not a circle I'm in. But back in the 80's, what is
80s,
what
90s.
is nightclub comedy? What's the different vibe?
Well, it's still, clubs for me were great learning. I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned, 'cause you're on every night, and then you do two shows on Friday and Saturday. So the club life was just work it, and it was a great place to work through material. And so you could, sometimes people would come, it's, weekday show, and come back on the weekend, and you knew I've got to have new material this weekend, or at least some new material. Because some people, it's kind of funny. Some people say, "Oh, I heard you do that last time," and then you go, oh, "Okay," and then you have people go, "Oh, I brought people here. You didn't do that bit. It's my favorite bit, and you didn't do it." And you're like, because it's not like songwriters, right? It's not like everybody can hear that song again and again and again, and if you leave it out
Yeah, yeah.
comic, it's like you just can't get a break. So the thing about clubs though was that there was that kind of grind where you had to write, constantly be writing every day, every day, every day. And the other thing, it was I got to I learned a lot from other people, just how to bomb graciously when you're bombing, do it with class. I learned how to do that. And then, but it was real competitive. It was a little dark, because when I was doing the clubs, my favorite club comic I ever worked with. He was bad.
Was who?
Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah. And there's an old joke that to go around the club circuit where if you ever heard comics talking like, "Hey, did you hear Sinbad killed in Dallas?" No, I didn't hear that. "Oh man, did you hear he killed in Orlando?" No, I didn't. "Did you hear he killed in Chicago?" No, I didn't hear that. "Hey man, did you hear he bombed in Des Moines?" "Yeah, I heard that." Right? And it was right. So you kind of root against your competition. But what I found is um, among Christian comics, which is really is different, is they root for each other, like the circuit that you do. You bring on new comics, you help them develop, you help them, because you know what it's like starting out. I mean, first time we met, you were what was it? We were consulting for the CNO shows, right? And
I
then
was
you were
tour
my tour
manager.
and then you were my tour manager, right? And so then I had no clue that one day you'd be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Timmy Boyle." I was like, "Whoa, dude!" So, but you were wild back then, anyway. So it wasn't a surprise. It was a pleasant.
That was the tour where the tour that I first performed with you, and you found out that I was starting comedy was when we were traveling with Greg Sibel,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Dan Oldfield, an amazing drummer. Well, Sibel is just Sibel now. And we were driving around in the meat locker, the coldest vehicle that has ever been roadworthy. I don't even know if it was roadworthy. Like it was like
wasn't.
literally.
Well, if you remember too, you guys were up front and you guys had the heat on, but the heat wasn't getting to where we were. And Kathy was with me on the tour, so it was Dan Oldfield, Greg Zabel, me, and Kathy. We're all in that back little like seating area that they created, and we could see our breath, and there was like ice on the inside of the window, and you guys kept turning the heat down because you guys were like stripping your clothes off, and I'm like, "Dude, if you have to drive naked, drive naked. We're dying here." That it was so hot in where you were sitting. I remember Kathy. I looked over at Kathy. She had her scarf wrapped all the way around her face. I mean, she was gone up to her head, and we're just freezing, man. God, that was
It
that was a
was
crazy tour. That's
it
crazy.
was the time because I was always told as a tour manager, and I embraced this thing was that the talent, which is what you were, the talent. We should always, our job is to sacrifice for the talent. And on that tour, it was just like, sorry, dudes. And I put my foot up on the thing there and be wearing no pants and just sweating away. And it's just
Oh
like,
my
this
gosh,
to
man.
be the talent. It's a
That
good
was
life.
perfect. Yeah, it was a good life. Yeah, and Crystal, no, I haven't ordered a pizza in a long time. And who do you want to know that has a selfie of them wearing pants? Me or Timmy? If it's Timmy, it's no. And what was the other question we have here? Hey, Marco. Hey, Marco's on. So
Hey, Marco,
my daughter joined. I think.
don't you have a selfie of me wearing pants? Is that a picture of me wearing pants? Or I'm
I don't know.
assuming.
Okay, it says. Let's see here. Uh, where is it?
Probably
Oh,
me.
okay. This is from Suzanne D. Brief, I guess. Don't you have a selfie of you wearing pants? Yeah,
Yeah,
that must be to you. That must be to you.
there are pictures. Whoops. Oh, I don't know what I just did. There are pictures out there of me with pants on. I mean, I can't just wander the world without pants. But Suzanne DeVries, just an interesting side note here. I've been doing this thing called Be Quarantined with Timmy, and Suzanne DeVries and her family had me into their living room to hang out and to chat. And so
Oh, that's fun.
like arrange a time for me to come. I've done like stand-up shows for them, and sometimes they just want to hang out. And so I had a great time with the DeVries family. That was super cool.
Good for you. See, you're working. You know what? You know what I know? I know how many Peppa Pig episodes there are. You want to know how many Peppa Pig episodes there are? There's 420. How many have I watched? 420. Now ask me how many times I've watched it.
How many times?
420. my Jude, my oldest grandson, is like, "Can we watch Peppa Pig?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, the days. Like, I am going a little stir crazy because the days are kind of like, you know. And I've just been grumpy. I think this is the most I've laughed in 2 weeks. Just grumpy, you know. It's just like, but yeah. So I need to do that. Hang out with Steve. But my problem is people just want me to sit there.
I've been so worried about, and it's been for years, not having the right technology, not having the right, like, look, I'm even on a secondary phone right now. My first phone is being used to upload another video. Like I'm trying to,
yeah.
And I wasn't scheduled well enough. So I, like, all of this time I've been like going, oh, you need to have this proper lighting, proper sound, blah, blah, blah. And this thing forced me, this virus forced me into this mode of, you know what? You want to make people laugh. You want to do creative stuff.
Sure.
And so just put the phone down and create something. And now, like, this is episode 25. For 25 days, I've been like calling comics, and people have been tuning in, and I never would have done it before because I was always looking for the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
And this it's been super fun.
No, that's great. And you've always been good with video too. The crazy thing is, my Dry Bar comedy special dropped right before that happened. And so, like, according to what I've been doing is, just pitching, like, hey, you've got nothing to do and you're not going out tonight. What's the Dry Bar special? And they just upload it to YouTube. So at least I've got that going for me. So, yeah, I'm one of those where I'm just like, I'm not real tech savvy. I know how it works, but it's like, don't really, like, people go, why don't you put more, comedy on Instagram? Because I'm lazy. You should do funny posts on Instagram. I'm lazy. No, you can say I'm lazy. So I think I've got to stop being lazy and get to work. So
why can't people understand that?
That's right. Was that a Timmy boy? Was that a T boy? Was that a T boy I saw there?
This is
Is that a T boy?
It no longer is. It's a straight up orange juice now. I've cut the ginger ale out for multiple reasons, but I used to drink the Tea Boy. It was a ginger ale orange juice mix. But the ginger ale on stage was causing me to start to burp. And I don't drink pop in general. And I drink water and orange juice only for performance reasons. And so the ginger ale was just not, just wasn't sitting in general. And so now the Tea Boy is kind of now, can I call an orange juice Tea Boy and make it my own drink, even though it's just
great. Yeah,
orange?
well, I used to love when we were on the road together. We'd go to a restaurant and everybody would order a drink, and you go, I have a Tea Boy, and we'd just sit there wait for the reaction, and the server sometimes they go, okay, and they'd walk away, and assuming the bartender knew what a Tea Boy was, and then that walk of shame back to our table going, what's a Tea Boy? And you would be like, you don't know what a Tea Boy is? You don't know this whole thing, this ginger ale and orange juice.
So many arrogant waiters and waitresses out there.
They didn't want to admit they didn't know what it was. That's so funny.
I had people bringing me tea, iced teas. I had one girl, I think I was with Grace and Jean Fox, and this one girl like walked by like 4 times, and we found out she had gone to the bar first and then to her manager, and she wouldn't do that. So, but I could lie and say it's it, but now it's just a straight up OJ now.
Okay.
Hey, I wanted to go back to just something you were saying, and just for everybody tuning in here, just want you to know that my name's Timmy Boyle up on top. That's Steve Geyer on the bottom, unless your phone is upset. And you're watching Calling Comedians in Quarantine. Steve, I want to go back briefly to what you were saying about watching Peppa Pig. there were shows when I was when my kids were growing up that I would love to sit down and watch with them. And then there were shows I was like, you know what? I don't care if you think I'm a bad father right now. I am leaving you here and leaving because I cannot watch that show. Is there what's on both sides for you? A show that you love watching with your kids and one that you cannot stand?
Barney.
That's still going?
It was for my kid. When my kids, this
Oh,
was
okay, with your kids? Yeah, yeah.
Barney was our babysitter. We would sit our kids down,
And leave?
and we'd leave. We'd come back. We'd go to the store. They're still sitting there. It was, but Barney was one that I just couldn't watch. I mean, it was just, but I can't even do his voice. And then Baby Bop's voice was the most grating voice on the planet. And so, what's kind of fun though is my dude, though he's got kind of a poor appetite for comedy, and he loves SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice.
So I can hang in with him with SpongeBob SquarePants, but there's one show that Jude watches that, for one reason, I'm the only one that can watch it with him. It drives Kathy nuts. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. It's on Goldie Bear. It's on Netflix. And the moment Jude like turns away from it, and I guess I haven't watched it a whole lot, but Goldie and Bear is the one that Kathy Barney is, but anything nowadays, I don't know. But
Did you watch did you have to watch Caillou?
oh, what's that?
Oh yeah, don't Caillou.
Don't go there.
Caillou is literally, it's this little bald kid and he's the worst kid in the world. Like are you are you a Star Wars fan?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So Kylo Ren, you know Kylo Ren?
Right, yeah.
He is the Caillou of Star Wars. Like just whiny all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Kylo, just get yourself together. That was Caillou. Except Caillou was a kid, and you could get away with it. And Kylo Ren is supposed to be like this, you know.
Okay. Okay. Somebody just joined in and said Blue's Clues is one that Joy. Can you not stand watching Blue's Clues, or do you like it? And then Crystal, Teletubbies. Oh, that's Teletubbies. Yep. I couldn't watch Teletubbies. So, but somebody said Joy said Blue's Clues. So, Joy, is that one that you can't stand, or one that you can watch? So,
I'm trying to scroll, but I think I messed
scroll
up.
it. You scroll up from the bottom, like where I am. If you're on the same screen, you just scroll up from the bottom. See.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. And so there are people that are talking.
Oh, they're saying
talking to us. Yeah, my wife.
See, I still can't figure this all out. I got told though by a millennial, and you got to listen to millennials about stuff like this.
Yes, you do.
Do I have to respond to all these people? So I can't even like read half of them all the time. And she was like,
no.
She's like,
respond to like there's a few like Sarah. There's people that I haven't seen in forever, and they're joining. There's John Ross, and there's Jeannie, and hey William, and there's just a lot. I mean, I'm trying to go back, but anyway, there's all these people. Hey Bethany,
too much for me.
We have people tuning in from Newfoundland. Not only the U.S., not only Canada, but Newfoundland, that other country.
Hey, did you know this? I don't know if I ever told you this, but the very first time I saw you and met you was actually at a Bananas show with you and Leland Clausen.
Yeah.
We were in this teeny little basement. I think I even went with my parents. And you guys signed a poster for my kids. And so I didn't know that years later, Leland would end up putting me on the path to doing what I'm doing now, and that I eventually be touring with you. But yeah, I think we may have just shaken hands that night. I don't know if you knew that, but I saw you in this little basement.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so my kids knew your stuff long before we had kind of connected individually. So that was a super cool thing. And then from there we had connected on a different level. Hey, who inspired you?
We have two people now. We have two people from Newfoundland.
Nice.
Peter and Bethany. What are you at?
We both have our phones on, so you can have an extra viewer. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Leland does have huge hands. Hey,
Leland's hands are this. It's like when he talks, it's like watching a 3D movie, man. It's like whoa. I'm sorry, you were saying.
It's kind of freaky there. Hey, so who inspired you? Who inspired you to get into comedy?
Oh gosh, Red Skelton. Um, I used
Hmm.
to love the old Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis movies. Loved watching those. You know, my 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 appreciation for comedy started when I was a kid. I loved it, and then Richard Belzer, Seinfeld, uh, gosh, uh, Richard Lewis, and I'm sad what his life became. But when I was a kid, I had every Bill Cosby record that was out,
Yep.
every single one of them, and I loved Bill Cosby. I loved Flip Wilson. In fact, I like Flip Wilson better than Cosby. And but I just, I just loved comedy as a kid. And while my friends were all learning how to play instruments to get the girls and stuff, I was like pushing them away, and not realizing that comedy was not, it wasn't a thing to, you
Yeah.
want to get a girlfriend, do comedy. They didn't work out that way, but I lucked out. I married over my head, so 31 years, and
Okay.
yeah, man, it's been. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd say it was probably Richard Belzer and Richard Lewis that really got me like stand up style of stand up, like Red Skelton, just funny, just humorous. And so, and then there's a guy that's old, this way back. I actually got to work with this guy. His name was David Say. He was on the Tonight Show with Carson
Hmm.
Constant. He was one of Johnny Carson's favorite. I don't even know if he's still alive anymore. Excuse me. But there was a guy named David Say. But I've been fortunate. Like I've been able to be on stage with like back in the day, never so much, like Crystal Record and all that. So I was very fortunate to get to like this in
Hmm.
my life.
I think your wife there says she loved Fat Albert. Is that a comic?
Is that a yeah? Yeah. And
Guys.
if this quarantine doesn't end soon, I'm going to be Fat Albert, okay? Because I eat out of boredom. Yeah, Fat Albert was the show, but there was also he had a routine about Fat Albert on his record, and then
Yeah.
Fat Albert became a cartoon. So
Yeah, I used to watch that. I used to watch that cartoon. Hey, we're gonna get ready to go here because we try to keep the shows relatively short because we know everyone's busy in quarantine here.
everybody has another live stream to watch. The other day it was funny. I
This to go to. But
I
what would you share? Actually, before we do this, let people know where they can find you, and then I'm going to get you to share something. But where can they find you and find your dry bar, like those type of things?
They can download the Dry Bar Comedy app is free. The Dry Bar Comedy, download it and then search Steve Geyer. It's on YouTube. You can go to stevegeyercomedy.com, and my Facebook and Steve Geyer comedy page is personal. I can't get any more friends on my personal page, but they can go to my Steve Geyer comedy page, and then they can also my Instagram's a little tricky because it's not my name. It's Gator Buck. Gator or Gator. But that's where they can find me. The Dry Bar app is, like I said, it's free. You need to go. Once they start filming again, you've got to go do a show. It's Propo Utah. It's a lot of fun. Matt's done it. Leland's done it. Joey
I've
Ayala's
been,
done it.
I've been trying, but
It's
apparently
fantastic.
they have so many people getting a hold of them. Unless you have somebody on the inside, kind of get you that one extra step in. I haven't been able to make that final contact with them.
When we get I'll email. I will email someone personally there, and we'll do this offline. But I'll give you some information. But I will introduce you to the person you need to meet. They're
That'd be
great.
awesome. Yeah, no, I've been definitely trying. So that's awesome.
Sheep,
Hey, so
Sheep still be your slow down. No, you can download it on iTunes. But you can download Slow Mo Working on iTunes. So there you go. And we
we
have
have
we have cassettes in our garage. No, we don't. We only have slow. Is it funny? Yours is just me. That's all we have left.
like DVD, like VHS cassettes.
Yeah, yeah. But, no, cassettes. Like when I first my first record was Slow Man Working in 1990. Is It Funny in Here? Was It Just Me? Was in '91, and then '92. I re-released three comedy records in 3 years of record company. Trying to kill me. And the last one was pre-delivered in '92. So it was when you had, there was no digital back then, so or download, right? So it was either DVD or on cassette, you know, tape cassette. So
Okay.
we just, you know, and then they stopped producing. But now I think you can get, I'm pretty sure you can get Slow Mo working on iTunes, and I think you can get Is It Funny here just by pre-delivered. I don't know where they with that. I've got two CDs left for dollars, but they're rare. They're out of print.
Put the order in. I mean, if this thing goes on for the 400 plus days that I think it's going to go on, you might need to sell some of that stuff just to keep yourself going.
I know. I am not above selling vital organs. Like I got two kidneys. I could spare part of the liver. I don't need one lung. I'm a non-smoker. I can spare a lung.
Well, I actually have I do have one pair of jeans that I haven't worn for a while, and I'll flip them easy for good cats because
There you
if it
go.
gets to the point, I mean, I really don't technically need them at all. What would be your final words here? A lot of people are struggling during this time, like we've talked about. I'm happy to say that right now my family is all well physically, and so I'm actually enjoying this time. But what would you say to people to help them endure the quarantine, however long this thing goes? What would you say?
Well, obviously not to be, ridiculous, but if it weren't for my faith in Jesus, I'd be, I would have no hope. I would totally freak out. What's going on. So first and foremost, I would say, you know, in this time, if you've not yet ever, bumped into Jesus, and had any real kind of connection with him, this would be a good time that you got a lot of time to contemplate and kind of assess where am I, and what am I holding on to as far as what's my anchor, what am I holding on to, what keeps me sane, what keeps me interesting, what keeps me from losing all hope. And for me, it's my faith. But it's been hard. Like, you know, I haven't felt much like I don't know about you, but I haven't felt much like a comic because I haven't been doing stuff that's been really wonderful. I'm glad to do it. But I've just kind of been stuck home and just haven't had that outlet that I need. So I think that probably to, you know, give some advice out of my own need is to find something to be creative with, do something, get out. For me, I am finishing up my book. It'll be out in September. And so that's probably something I need to just really invest myself in, and then probably do some more of this, just, chat with people. But without faith, there's no hope, man. And but I'm like you. I'm good. I had a great couple of tours that we had money set aside. We're okay. But I need to get back on the road. Just like people get back to work. Oh, thanks.
Well,
Oh, you're welcome.
man, I love you.
Love you too.
I hope that when this thing comes down, we can not only whether we stay on the same whether we get on the same stage, that's beside the point, but to be able to connect at some point just personally again, that would be awesome
Oh
and
no,
great to
yeah,
see.
and yeah, man, and I'd love to do the circuit with you again. If you want to do something fun, let me know. I'll be glad to do that with you again. And then um, offline, I'll give you that information, and then I will send an email. I'll send an email tonight.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, because you'd be great. They'd love you. And it's a clean atmosphere. It's definitely your audience. And that's why they call it dry bar. It's like, one guy accidentally slipped and said the, the GD phrase, and he was like really going, and he went, and you could feel it in the room, and he knew he did it. He knew the second he did it, because it's like what they're doing is they bring comics in who have to work clean that have never worked clean before, and so
Right.
they're like racking their brains. You don't have to rack your brain. You just go do your stuff and not have to worry about it. This one guy let one slip, and it was so funny because, and I'm watching it. I was in seeing that night, and and I'm watching, and I see him just kind of like flint, like, but he kept going, in the audience. tiny, like that, you know. So imagine doing that. So imagine a church audience, and it's one of your comics accidentally saying,
Yeah.
it would be like, grab your torches and pitchforks, boys. Let's go get him. You know? But it was great. The audience was great. You know, I think they realized he was like, you know, freaking out that he did it. But it was funny.
Oh man. All right, buddy. Stay safe down there, and give Kathy a hug for me. And thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
You bet, man. And thanks for all the birthday wishes. You guys can sing it on a video and send it to me. Hey, love on your family for me. Give everybody a hug and kiss.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and ring the little bell so you and your friends don't miss any of the laughs. Episodes will be uploaded here until I run out. And be sure to check out the description below for links to connect with myself or my guests on social media, and also download the podcast version of this show. Until next time, remember, your brain, it's for thinking, not for eating. So just say no to zombies.